I'm Emily May. I'm an exotic bird enthusiast. I have several birds, and sometimes my birds are messy because they drop seeds all over the place and they get tracked through the house. I have a solution to that. It's simple and inexpensive, and I'm here to share it with you. The first thing we need to do is to go over supplies. The supplies are sewing machine, straight pins, cotton material, scissors, fusible Pellon 1-inch wide, perfect waist maker, iron, ironing board, thread, measuring tape, swatch of cloth, 2-inch Velcro. Those supplies I have here. This is the material. It can be heavy-duty cotton or a lightweight material. 2-inch Velcro. You're trying to make sure that when you put this on your material that it's strong enough to hold it tight. This is the perfect waist maker. It's easier to get than buying a whole sheet of Pellon, one-sided fusible. This is the cotton thread. Do not buy polyester. Polyester does not settle well on a bird's stomach in case they chew on it. These are straight pins that you'll need to hold your Pellon in place on your material, and also when you make your hems. Your sewing machine, your measuring tape, and if you have a steam iron, you'll need a steam iron. Otherwise, I'll show you how to handle that without a steam iron, and a pair of good scissors. Let's get started. The first thing we want to do is to get the measure of the cage perimeter. So if you're like me, I have a measuring tape that only goes to 60 inches. And I know that this bird cage is greater than 60 inches. So this is how I do it. I place my measuring tape on one corner, the lengthwise, and go over to the width. Once I have my measurement, I double that. So my measurement on this bird cage is 31, doubled is 62 inches. I may want to write that down so that I have it in my notes. So I'll take a piece of paper and I'll write perimeter of birdcage was 62 inches. I'm going to add 2 inches for the hem and 2 for the Velcro. A total of 4 inches. So now I know that I need 66 inches in length. The width of the material that you're going to cut, the rectangular piece of material you're going to cut, is going to be 6 inches for a short cage, but I have a tall cage, so I'm going to adjust that by my desired amount, maybe 1 or 2 inches. Okay. The material that I've chosen for my bird is a lightweight material and it's easily frayed on the ends. I don't want this material to fray. That's why I've chosen to use the one-sided Pellon to give it reinforce the strength and keep it from unraveling. So I go ahead and I pull my Pellon out, and it's going to be 3/4 of an inch for the hem. I'll go ahead and cut my Pellon apart for the waistband because there's 2 sides on this. And then once I've done that, I'll cut the Pellon in half, and I'll be ready to use it to reinforce my material. So over here, I've already reinforced my material. I've cut my material to length. If I needed to, I add an extra piece, but for the most part, if your cage is small, you don't have to cut an extra piece, an extra panel. Otherwise you're going to have to cut an extra panel and add the piece. You're going to lay your material out on the ironing board, and you're going to attach the Pellon. And the Pellon, you're going to have to pay attention because on the top side it's going to feel soft. This is the side that's going to face you. On the bottom side it's going to feel rough. This is the glue side. This is the side that's going to go down on your material. Your front part of your material lays on the ironing board away from you, and the back side is facing you. You lay your material, your Pellon, down on top of your material, and you go ahead and pin it onto your material. So now I'm going to show you how to adhese your material to your Pellon. I didn't need this part of the panel, so I'm going to cut it away. You can see how it frays. So that wouldn't be good, especially if you go to wash it. Okay. I have a swatch of material. For those of you that have a iron that is a steam iron, the setting is going to be set on wool. Make sure you have water in your iron. For those of you that do not, take your material, your little extra piece of material, and just dampen it so that it's damp enough. You can feel it, but it's not dripping. Okay, you want to place your swat on top of your material and on top of your Pellon. Make sure the Pellon doesn't move. Lay it out flat. Now this is very important, because if you don't do this right, you can be very upset with yourself. The glue part is facing down and away from you. What you need to do is lay your iron directly down on your material and your Pellon without moving it for 15 seconds. If we don't do this right, a lot of times it will adhere to your ironing board, and then your ironing board cover will be ruined. Okay? And now you don't have to worry about your material fraying. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to sew the hem on each side, which I've already done here, but I'm going to go ahead and pin it here and sew it on the sewing machine for you. And we're going to turn the ends for your hem. It'll be a 1-inch hem down here. I've used 3/4 of an inch down here so that my width is 8 inches here. I'll go ahead and pin that. And then we're going to move over to the sewing machine and sew that. I use a zigzag stitch simply because it helps at any time that material might unravel or birds are picking at it. They have a harder time pulling the thread out. Okay, so what I need you to do is to look closely at the hem. It's all zigzag. It's zigzag here for your hem. And we're going to attach the Pellon, not the Pellon, the Velcro. Now with the Velcro, what I've done is I've attached the Velcro to the back side of my material. There's no silvery part here. I've attached it to the back side. So now I want to attach it to the front side of my material so that when I go to put it together, it will adhere back to front and front to back. Okay? So I go ahead and pin it. Okay, if you're not really comfortable with sewing it on the front side of it, then you can sew it on the back side if you want to. But this is the front side, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, because I can see the edges. I'm still going to use a zigzag stitch on here. As close to the edge as I can get. Okay, I trim off all my loose threads. Okay, and now I'm ready to attach my birdseed catcher to my cage. I bring it down to the very bottom. Make sure it's really tight around the wires. I'm going to pull it pretty tight. And now you can see that my birds, their seed will hit against the side of the bird seed catcher and bounce back into the cage. Isn't that right, Skittles? Now if you want to wash this, it's easy. You just take it apart, make sure that the Velcro is put back together when you put it into the laundry so it doesn't destroy anything else that you're washing with. Dry it and put it back on your cage. And I hope that this video has made your house a little bit cleaner and healthier for both you and your birds. Thank you very much. Can you say bye-bye? Say bye-bye. Can you say bye-bye?